Unlock the secrets of ancient civilizations in just 11 minutes. This video condenses the epic 3-hour Joe Rogan Experience podcast with Dan Richards, which aired on February 4th, 2025. Dive into a whirlwind of discussion where Richards explores mind-blowing topics like the hidden Ark of the Covenant, the pyramids as ancient power plants, and the mysterious Antikythera Mechanism. Get ready for a journey that challenges everything you thought you knew about our past. Stick around to uncover the truth behind these archaeological enigmas. Here are the key takeaways from the podcast. Takeaway 1. The mystery of the Ark of the Covenant. Location and guardianship. The podcast delves into the speculation that the Ark of the Covenant might be hidden in Ethiopia. There's a narrative around a church in Ethiopia where priests guarding the Ark reportedly suffer from symptoms resembling radiation poisoning, dying young after serving. This raises questions about the true nature and power of the Ark, suggesting it might be more than a mere religious relic. Radiation theory. They explore the idea that the Ark could emit radiation based on the symptoms of the priests. If this is true, it would imply that the Ark was not just a container for sacred relics, but possibly an ancient artifact with unexpected properties, perhaps explaining the biblical accounts of its power. Historical speculation. The discussion includes interpretations from historical texts, where the Ark is described as having divine or powerful effects, like Moses' face shining after being in its presence, potentially linking it to some form of energy or radiation. This leads to speculation about whether it was used as a weapon or a source of energy in ancient times. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 2. Ancient technology and the pyramids. Construction theories. There's a deep dive into the various theories on how the pyramids were constructed, suggesting they might have been built with techniques or technology lost to time. This includes ideas like using sound or vibrations to move heavy stones, challenging the conventional narratives of brute force labor. Pyramid as power plant. Chris Dunn's hypothesis is detailed, where he posits that the pyramids could have been an ancient power station, utilizing the Earth's natural energies, perhaps through quartz or other minerals in the limestone blocks to generate electricity or another form of energy. Christopher Dunn's work. The conversation acknowledges Dunn's intelligent but controversial theories, where he suggests the pyramids' chambers and shafts were designed for energy production, not just for the pharaoh's tombs. This theory, while not widely accepted, pushes the boundaries of what we consider possible in ancient engineering. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 3. Gobekli Tepe and ancient civilizations. Revisiting history, Gobekli Tepe fundamentally challenges the idea that agriculture was the catalyst for civilization. Its monumental structures, predating known farming societies, suggest that complex social structures and religious practices could have emerged before agriculture. Intentional burial. They discuss evidence that Gobekli Tepe might have been deliberately buried, possibly to preserve or hide it from later generations, indicating a significant cultural or ceremonial reason behind its construction and subsequent concealment. Archaeoastronomy. The site's potential alignment with astronomical events is explored, suggesting these ancient people had a sophisticated understanding of celestial movements, which could have been integral to their religious or agricultural practices. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 4. The Baghdad Battery. Potential electrical use. The Baghdad Battery, found in Iraq, could have been an early form of an electrochemical cell. If filled with an acidic liquid, it might have produced a small electric current, possibly for electroplating or other minor applications. Archaeological debate. There's contention among archaeologists about its use. Some dismiss it as merely a storage jar, while others argue for its potential as an electrical device, showing that ancient civilizations might have experimented with electricity long before we thought. Historical implications. If the Baghdad Battery was indeed used for electricity, it would indicate a level of scientific curiosity or knowledge about electricity in ancient Mesopotamia, predating known Western experiments by millennia. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 5. The Antikythera Mechanism. Ancient computing device. Discovered in a shipwreck off Greece, This device is an ancient analog computer designed to predict astronomical positions and eclipses for calendrical and astrological purposes. Its complexity for its time suggests advanced Greek knowledge in astronomy and engineering. Complexity and preservation. The mechanism's survival is somewhat accidental. Initially overlooked in the wreckage, its significance was only recognized after detailed study, showcasing how advanced technology could be lost or misidentified in archaeological contexts. Functionality. Its gears and dials indicate it was used to track the cycles of celestial bodies, providing a tangible link to how ancient Greeks understood and taught concepts of time and space. We're halfway through the video. Thank you for sticking with us this far. If you're enjoying it, please give us a thumbs up and share it in your WhatsApp groups. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to comment below. To see more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Now let's continue with the video. Takeaway 6. The Clovis First theory, debunking the paradigm. The conversation highlights how new archaeological evidence, like sites older than Clovis culture, has debunked the long-held belief that the Clovis people were the first in the Americas. This includes discoveries like Monte Verde in Chile, which predates Clovis significantly. Controversy and personal attacks. There's mention of the intense personal and professional disputes that arose, where scientists defending the Clovis First model resorted to personal attacks against colleagues presenting contradicting evidence, showing the human side of science. New evidence. These findings push back the timeline of human presence in the Americas, suggesting multiple waves of migration and challenging single-origin theories, thus reshaping our understanding of human history in the Western Hemisphere. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 7. The Younger Dryas Impact Hypothesis. Catastrophic climate change. This theory suggests that a comet impact might have caused the Younger Dryas cooling event, leading to a mini ice age that could have significantly impacted human societies worldwide, possibly leading to the disappearance of some cultures. Evidence from Gobekli Tepe. The site's carvings and possible alignments are discussed as potential markers or memorials to this cataclysmic event, suggesting that ancient societies might have had knowledge or myths about it. Debate on cometary impact. Despite skepticism, geological layers with unusual materials like nanodiamonds and high concentrations of iridium are cited as evidence supporting this hypothesis, though the scientific community remains divided. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 8. The mystery of the nubs in megalithic structures. Purpose of nubs. These small protrusions on ancient stones are speculated to have served as lifting bosses or alignment aids in construction, allowing workers to maneuver and place massive blocks with precision. Ubiquity across cultures. The presence of nubs in various ancient structures around the world suggests a common architectural technique or tool usage, possibly indicating shared knowledge or cultural exchange. Speculation and evidence. While some argue they were practical for construction, others see them as remnants of a technique or material removal method, with their exact purpose still a subject of debate among archaeologists. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 9. Ancient aliens and unusual discoveries. Speculation versus evidence. The podcast navigates through claims like elongated skulls in Peru or supposed alien artifacts, emphasizing the need for rigorous scientific analysis to distinguish between sensationalism and genuine archaeological findings. Peruvian controversy. There's acknowledgement of potential corruption or sensationalism in the archaeological community in Peru, where the drive for tourism or personal gain might lead to exaggerated or falsified claims. Scientific scrutiny. The importance of scientific method and peer review is highlighted, suggesting that any extraordinary claim needs extraordinary proof, not just hearsay or visual evidence that could be misinterpreted. Now let's move to the last takeaway. Takeaway 10. Political and cultural bias in science. Ego and professional rivalry. The discussion touches on how personal ego can influence scientific debate, leading to resistance against new ideas or evidence, sometimes resulting in personal attacks rather than constructive dialogue. Dismissal of new ideas. There are examples where scientists have dismissed new theories out of hand, like the reluctance to explore sites like the Grand Canyon for potential archaeological finds due to bias or institutional inertia. Need for open inquiry. They advocate for science to remain open to all hypotheses, encouraging exploration and investigation, rather than dismissal based on established paradigms, reflecting on how this openness could lead to significant breakthroughs in understanding our past. Here is a brief introduction about Dan Richards. Dan Richards is an independent researcher whose YouTube channel, DeDunking the Past, examines lost civilizations and alternative history. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this summary of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast with Dan Richards informative. If you're interested in learning more about these topics, I encourage you to watch the full podcast on YouTube. If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave a like below and share this video in your WhatsApp groups. You can also discuss about this video by commenting below. To get more such videos in your timeline, press the subscribe button below.